What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Today's video, I'm going to provide you with a little bit of a stimulus update. We're going to talk about how some people are receiving a $200 Social Security boost. We're also going to address Biden's new plan regarding COVID, and we got some COVID updates for you as well. So, first off, hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day. Hopefully you guys are having a great week, but let's get to the update for today. First, today marks the 1-year anniversary of the January 6th Capitol riot. Last year I did a live stream on this day. It was interesting what happened. Now, we're not going to go over everything that's happened because I'm pretty sure you know what happened a year ago today. So we're not really going to touch on that. But today, President Biden spoke on the riot and pretty much is blaming former President Donald Trump for everything that happened. Mitch McConnell came out today. He bashed Democrats for using this day of remembrance pretty much for political gain. But that's really all I want to discuss regarding the Capitol riot 1 year ago today. Let's get to some stimulus updates. First, there is a real need for additional stimulus here in the United States. I think many people have agreed on this. I know from all the reports that I've read, lawmakers and White House officials all believe that if we do see additional relief, which is questionable at this time, it must go to the right people. They say no more sending money to families that don't need it and businesses that are not actually using the funds. We've seen so many reports over the past year or so, where a business went and used that money to buy an exotic car, a Lamborghini, a Ferrari, or McLaren. The owner went and bought Rolex watches and new homes and lavish vacations, and we just wasted that money. So they say that this is what's causing a lot of problems. Is if it comes to passing a bill with additional assistance, who is going to get it? That's the question. And when lawmakers looked into passing assistance for restaurants, this is the talks that we got. Groups came out and said, well, what about us in the airline industry? What about us that own small retail stores? What about us in the hospitality industry? Will we get assistance too? Those are the questions. So, the problem that remains is which industries will get the assistance if and when it's passed. And the only thing that we truly know right now is that lawmakers are considering additional checks. But we don't know who would get it or even when they would get it. That's the question. So, and I addressed this the other day regarding the $2,000 stimulus checks. That was something that was leaked from the Washington Post. And the White House officials came out and said, no, that really isn't the case. The Washington Post isn't just one of those, online media outlets that just throws out stories. This is one of the reasons I usually use the Washington Post as a source, is because they're fairly accurate, almost extremely accurate. So, are these discussions happening? Yes. Do we have formal legislation for it? A formal proposal? No. Now, are we going to see $2,000 stimulus checks? Possibly. But again, this would require a lockdown. But again, I got news on that as well coming from Africa and the CDC there. So make sure you stick around for this entire video to hear what they have to say. But let's talk about the $200 boost to Social Security. This is a question I've been getting almost every single video that I do. I get a question about, what about the promise that President Biden made to Social Security recipients? What about that? The $200 per month. Here's what I can tell you. There's been a lot of reports over the past couple of days regarding Social Security recipients that have received a $200 boost. They've been there. But, and these are true, people are receiving over $200 on their Social Security benefits. But this is only a certain small group of people. I just want to make sure that you understand, President Biden did not provide a boost to Social Security like he promised. There is no $200 boost coming, at least from what I can see. But there's a certain group of people that are getting a $200 boost to their Social Security benefits each month. But in order to do that, you would have had to get paid $3,389 a month in 2021. And the reason I say that is because the 5.9% cost of living adjustment would have boosted your Social Security benefits by more than $200. For somebody that retired in 2021 at the age of 70, their maximum benefit would have been $3,895. So your increase due to the cost of living adjustment would have been $229 per month. That would be your increase. So somebody that's over the age of 70 and retired in 2021, last year, they would have had a $200 boost to their Social Security benefits. That's it. Okay? So keep that in mind that, yes, there are people that did receive a $200 per month boost, but not everybody. So, let's also discuss what President Biden said last year as well. President Biden told the American people, elect me and I will eradicate COVID. That's what he said. But he also went on to blame former President Donald Trump that he was the one to blame for the virus spreading beyond control. But now, according to the Wall Street Journal, he's actually planning a major shift, and so is his administration. The Biden administration is actually shifting towards preparing Americans to see COVID as part of their daily lives moving forward. This is something that we just have to get used to. We know teachers are contracting COVID, and therefore they're closing down schools. Not because the teacher is contracting COVID, but a teacher contracts COVID and is in a classroom who's, let's say 20 kids, which is, I think right now, I think the average is like 27, 30 some kids. It's a staggering number, but like 27 kids for every one teacher. What you need to keep in mind is every single one of those students has now been exposed, right? They may not test positive, but they have been exposed. So when a teacher tests positive, in many cases, the classroom pretty much has to isolate for at least 5 days. So does the teacher. Well, if the teacher was in other classrooms, right, then the other students have to isolate. This is what's causing a lot of schools at this time to simply shut down. Workers are actually contracting COVID, and therefore their businesses have to shut down. The office buildings, in many cases, shut down, right? What about airline workers? What happens when an airline worker tests positive? They have to stay home and isolate. This issue has caused 11 straight days where we have seen more than 1,000 flights get canceled. 11 straight days. That's incredible. It's sad. It's incredible. Now, experts believe we're still 6 days away from the peak of the Omicron surge. And this is what is causing a major cause for concern. Now, we reported 704,000 COVID cases yesterday here in the United States. This now puts our 7-day average at 584,000 cases. And our 7-day average of deaths are actually about 1,300. So they are less than half of what they were 1 year ago today. Less than half. But our COVID cases are double. So that's where experts are saying we need to look at these cases and be like, okay, this is just part of the number. But we need to look at the hospitalizations and the deaths. That's going to be the key. We need to get rid of the stat of how many cases we have. They say that shouldn't matter this far into the pandemic. And this is also why some experts feel that we're on the back end of this pandemic. But the issue still remains about tests. Nobody can get an at-home COVID test right now. When it comes to testing centers, there's huge lines, and many people do not want to wait. It creates an issue. Okay, I don't have the time to wait, so I'm not going to test. I'll just say I'm not positive. because you're not. You didn't test. So that's the issue, and that comes down to the Biden administration. They didn't order more tests back in October, November, right? They didn't need those. But now we do. And they could potentially be months out. So we'll see what happens there. But before I get into what the CDC director in Africa actually said, I want to give you some advice on the stock market today. When I was looking through some of my different trading accounts, one of the things that I noticed, things keep going down. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's only bad if you decide to sell. Now, I really like where some of these numbers are headed. And this is just my take on this. Again, you guys can take this as you wish. But this is turning into a major buying opportunity for long holds. Now, here's what I'm going to do. And I addressed this yesterday. Let me address it again. I plan on evaluating today. I plan on waiting until the jobs report comes out tomorrow. And I will reevaluate then as well. I will also, again, keep this in mind, the CPI data comes out next Wednesday on January 12th. This is going to be a big day as well. We could either see stocks go tumbling even more than what they have already done, or they could somewhat go up. Now, here's my advice. Be patient. Be patient in this type of market. There's going to be deals. There's going to be some incredible deals, but they're not going to look incredible today. You got to look at the past history, what we have seen. Invest in strong companies. Don't invest in SPACs. SPACs, there's no guarantee there, right? There's going to be some good deals on crypto. There already are. There's going to be some good deals on stocks. There already are. But be patient. Let's talk about what the Africa CDC says, because they say severe lockdowns are no longer a tool to help contain COVID. And he says, and I quote, "The period where we are using severe lockdowns as a tool is over. We should actually be looking at how we use public health and social measures more carefully and in a balanced way as the vaccinations increase." Now, let me know what your thoughts are on this statement down in the comment section below. But I think understanding the virus better, knowing how we can live with it, that's going to be one of the best options to really get through this. This is something that we will have to live with, probably for the rest of our lives. But we have to learn to deal with it. And that's the issue. So, we'll see what happens. But what I can tell you right now is, there's a lot of stuff going back and forth within the backroom deals of Congress. We'll see what actually comes out of this, if there's anything good for the American people. But as always, as I know more, I promise I'll come back on, share all the latest news and updates. Just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.